Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning or good afternoon, whatever you want to call it. It's still morning here. It's 10:22. It is Friday, the 18th of March. I'm just now getting out of the house. I've been up since probably, I don't know, 6:30, 7 o'clock, somewhere around in there. I know I hadn't been on here in a while, and I haven't done anything in the past week and a half. I've had a lot go on, guys. I know, I don't know if I told y'all or not, but probably about a month ago, my HOA sent me a letter complaining about my trailer parked in my driveway. Well, I think it's ridiculous, but it gave me an excuse. And right after we received that letter, the gate on my privacy fence, the wind broke it. So that really gave me an excuse. So my wife and I, we redid the fence at the top of my driveway, privacy fence, and we installed a single gate for our walkway and a double gate, so I could just back my trailer straight into my backyard and shut it. That way the HOA wouldn't have to see it and wouldn't have anything to complain about, which I'm sure they'll find something to complain about. It makes me want to pull the rest of my hair out. You know, I've got one of the nicest yards in the neighborhood, and they always find something to complain about, whether it's bird poop on the mailbox or whether it be trash can left down by the road for 30 minutes after the trash man picks it up. I don't know. I mean, this HOA is ridiculous. And next time we buy a house, once my kids graduate high school, we're never going to live in an HOA again. We're going to build something out in the country somewhere. But anyway, enough about that. We spent some time building a fence, or redoing our fence and building a double gate and a single gate and all that good stuff, so I can now back my trailer into my backyard. But Wednesday, my mom had called me, or I was on the way home from work, and I called my mom. I call her every day. You know, my dad, he's been fighting lymphoma, and he beat the cancer. But Wednesday, I was talking to my mom, and keep in mind, I haven't seen my stepdad since sometime in mid-December. Sorry, guys, I've got hiccups. I haven't seen the old man since sometime in mid-December, because a lot of us have been sick and we just couldn't be around him. We were scared to get him sick because, you know, the chemo, it lessens your immune system, and we didn't want to take any chances. And plus, we're pretty sure everybody in my house had COVID. But anyway, when I was talking to her, it had turned from bad to ugly. And she told me that she was bringing him home that night on hospice. Worst news you can possibly get. You know, he has developed congestive heart failure, and his days here on planet Earth are numbered. But you know, I like to say, as for the Christian, to live as Christ and to die as gain. It's sad. I don't want to lose the old man, but at the same time, I don't like to say that I'm going to lose him, because when you lose something, you have no clue where it is. And I know where my old man's going. He's a believer just like the rest of us. So right now, at this point, he was, you know, the nurses didn't expect him to make it through the night, so I canceled everything for that weekend. I actually had some jobs lined up for that weekend. I canceled everything for that weekend so I could be there for my family, my mom especially. And well, lo and behold, here it is, a week and 2 days later, he's still fighting. And you know, we're prepared for the worst, but we're praying for the best, you know. So you guys keep my family, especially my stepdad, in your prayers. And well, that's not the end of it. that was, I called my supervisor at my full-time job, and I took Thursday off of work. I went ahead and took the rest of the week off of work because we didn't know what was going to happen. And all of my routes run 3 hours from my house, and I didn't want to be 3.5, 4 hours away. And it wound up being 7 hours before I could get to my family. So just went ahead and took the rest of the week off. Well, we spent Thursday with my mom and my stepdad and a couple of my aunts, and came home, and my wife and I, we laid some clothes out that way in case we got a phone call in the middle of the night saying the worst had happened. Well, we got a phone call, but it wasn't from my mom. It was my mother-in-law. She called and said that my wife's grandmother was non-responsive and didn't have a pulse. My wife's grandmother passed on Friday morning. So all last weekend, we spent a lot of our time at the hospital, at the funeral home, and at my mother-in-law's house, trying to console her. And even on into this week, I was the one that preached the sermon at her funeral, and so we've been busy. And my wife went back to work yesterday, and I took the rest of the week off. I took 3 days bereavement, and I took the rest of the week off without pay because I actually thought that we were going to move her stuff out of her house yesterday and today. Well, I never heard anything, so here I am. So at the moment, I am on my way up here to my mother and father-in-law's house. My trailer is full of privacy fence panels, and they told me I could just bring them up there and throw them in their burn pile. They're going to burn them, and they said they're not worried about the screws and nails and whatever's left on the fence. They said they don't go down there anyway unless they're burning stuff, and they don't drive down there. So they told me just bring it out there and drop it off. And I'm going to head back to the house, and I'm going to load my trailer up with my equipment, and I'm going to make some phone calls to see if some of my customers mind if I go ahead and service their property today. Because tonight on into tomorrow, and I think Sunday afternoon, it is supposed to rain cats and dogs. And I have 5 customers right now. Actually, I have 6. I picked up another one. I'm sorry. I have 6 customers right now. 5 of them have already been serviced. I've already done the spring cleanup. One of them still needs the spring cleanup. She has a huge crepe myrtle tree that has to be pruned, which it's a little too late for that. And I told her it's a little too late for that. But if she wants me to go ahead and prune it, I will. But I'm not going to be held responsible if that tree winds up dying. But honestly, I think it'll be okay because here in Georgia, it stays warm year-round, basically. We might have a month or two of cold weather, but it's only been a month since what I consider the deadline for trimming crepe myrtles, and the weather is the same now as it was then. So I think it'll be okay. But either way, I went ahead and covered my tail and let her know that I would not be held responsible if that tree was to die. But I am gonna charge her for a spring cleanup, which is basically the same for this yard. It's basically the same mow and blow and trim her hedges, but I am charging her by the hour instead of what I would normally charge for a mow and blow. And I'm also charging her by the hour to trim that crepe myrtle. And everyone seems to be fine with it so far. Everyone seems pleased. And, I actually lost 2 potential customers. I had one call me. I was supposed to go out there the day that I got the news from my mom. Or actually, I went out there on the day I got the news from my mom and gave her an estimate. And I gave her an estimate on some pine straw installation too. And she went for it, and we were going to do it that weekend, but everything happened with my parents. And I'm a big believer in communication. So I went ahead and called her and told her what everything was going on, and she's told me, don't worry about it, do what you got to do, be there for your family, and if you need anything from me, I'm here. I said, all right. Well, that Sunday I texted her and told her that my stepdad was still living. We're still trying to be there for my mom, and I told her about my wife's grandmother, and and I told her, I said, because the problem is a lot of the people in this area are getting their yards spruced up for the Masters, and the Masters is coming up in 2 or 3 weeks, I can't remember, and they rent their house out to patrons for the Masters. Well, that's what she needed. She needed someone to have her yard cleaned up and ready to go before her renters got there. And I texted her that Sunday or Monday, I can't remember, and told her, I said, it's probably going to be this weekend or next before I can get out there. I said, I've got a lot going on. And I said, I've still got customers that I've had to put on the back burner because of all this. And I said, if you need to find someone else because you're pressed for time, I completely understand. And she immediately texted me back and told me that she had texted someone else. And I understand, so I'm not upset about that. And had another customer call me yesterday. She wanted me to come out and give her an estimate. And when I got there, she was wanting a leaf cleanup and wanting someone to continue service on her yard. And as much as I hate it, I had to turn her down because at the moment I really don't have time for leaf cleanups. I'm we're right here at the beginning of growing season. I'm focusing on getting people's yards and their lawns and their bushes whipped back into shape so I can maintain them. And I really don't have time to spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours on a leaf cleanup. And I explained that to her, and she was fine with it. And but truthfully, it works out anyway because that house that house is about 30 minutes from the rest of my properties. And but gas being $400 a gallon right now, it just wouldn't be feasible for me to go over there for a basic mowing blow, not unless it was some serious money that I was making. But it'll all work out, and I'm still banking on this year to really get my business off of the ground, and so I can acquire more much needed equipment. I wrote down some things that I wanted. There's 2 more trimmers that I want to buy, and I'm wanting to buy another backpack blower. I'm actually wanting to buy an Echo 9010 backpack blower, and I'm wanting to get racks from my trailer, and if at all possible, and I'm a man of faith, and I believe that all things are possible through Christ, and hopefully I'll generate enough revenue this year that I can go ahead and buy a stand-on mower, a 36-inch stand-on mower. And I'm not above leaving my full-time job if the money is there, as long as business is there. But I'm leaving that in God's hands. But anyway, there's a mallard duck just flew across the road in front of me. Something you don't see a lot here in Georgia is mallards. But anyway, I am fixing to pull into my mother-in-law and father-in-law's yard so I can dump this scrap wood and head on back to the house and load my trailer up, and I will keep you guys posted. And I did find my GoPro, and but I can't remember how to work that thing, and I'm really gonna have to do some research to figure that thing out so I can take you guys along with me when I'm doing jobs. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this stuff unloaded and get on back to the house and see if I can't get some work done today. But I will holler at you guys soon. Catch you on the next one.